The forest of Kaalvan did not allow birds to sing after sunset, not because predators hunted them, but because something older than predators woke up. My bike stopped at exactly 12 midnight. The headlight flickered once, twice, and died. The engine gave a final choking sound, as if something invisible had squeezed its throat shut. My phone lost signal. Even the stars seemed to fade behind thick clouds that moved too slowly, as if the sky itself was watching me. I had ignored the warnings. Every villager along the highway had told me the same thing. Do not enter the forest after dark. Do not follow voices. Do not look at your shadow if it moves before you do. They said a Dayan lived there, a forest which you fed on human shadows, leaving her victims alive but empty, walking shells that slowly forgot their own names before disappearing into trees forever. I laughed at them. Now the silence was so thick it pressed against my ears. I stepped off my bike. The road behind me was no longer a road. Where asphalt should have been was now dense jungle, twisted roots crawling over each other like veins under rotten skin. The air smelled of wet soil mixed with something sweet and decaying, flowers left on a grave too long. Then I heard humming, soft, gentle, almost comforting. It came from deeper inside the forest. Against every instinct screaming inside me, I followed it. The trees opened into a clearing where a small mud hut stood crooked beneath a dying banyan tree. Green light leaked through its cracked doorway. The humming came from inside. I could see a woman's shadow moving on the hut's wall, but her shadow moved before she did. I froze. She was stirring something in a large black pot. The liquid glowed green. Human skulls ringed the cauldron like offerings. Her hair dragged across the floor. Her arms were too long. Her feet were turned backward. Her humming stopped. She slowly turned her head. Her face was upside down. Her eyes were where her mouth should be. Her mouth was where her eyes should be. And when she smiled, her teeth clacked softly like bones touching in a sack. "You came alone," she whispered. "Good." The forest went silent. My shadow detached itself from my feet. It slid slowly across the ground toward her cauldron. I screamed and ran. Branches tore my skin. Roots grabbed my ankles. The jungle closed around me, bending and twisting into shapes that looked like faces frozen in silent screams. I ran until my lungs burned and my heart hammered like it wanted to escape my chest. I burst into a village clearing. Dozens of huts stood abandoned. Cooking fires were cold. Plates lay half filled with rotten food. Children's toys were scattered in the dust. Not abandoned, interrupted. A man stood in the center of the village. He stared straight ahead. His eyes were open but empty, glassy like a doll's. His shadow was missing. I touched his shoulder. He collapsed like a sack of bones. His skin was cold, but his mouth moved. "She ate my shadow," he whispered. "Now she is eating me." His body went still. I ran again. Footprints appeared behind me, but they faced backward. The humming returned, closer now. I hid inside one of the huts. The inside walls were carved with hundreds of names. Every name had a date beside it. The dates went back more than 100 years. All of them ended with the same word carved deeply into the mud wall. Taken. I heard her outside. Her nails scratched slowly across the hut wall. "Tap, tap, tap. Come out," she whispered. "You are already mine." My reflection in a broken mirror smiled. Even though my lips were frozen in terror, My shadow was gone. It had been eaten. I felt something inside, my chest grow cold. Memories slipped like water through cracked fingers. My mother's face blurred. My own name began to feel unfamiliar. I stumbled back into the clearing. She stood waiting. Her cauldron bubbled violently. Inside it I saw shadows twisting, human shadows screaming without mouths. "You will not die," she said softly. "You will fade." She touched my forehead, and I saw everything. She had once been a healer, a village woman betrayed, buried alive by the same people she tried to save. She crawled out of her grave, starving, broken, burning with hatred. Something answered her prayers in the dark, something ancient, something that fed on souls through shadows. Now she hunts. Now she feeds. My legs gave way. My body collapsed beside her cauldron. I could still breathe. I could still see. But I could no longer feel my heartbeat. My reflection faded. My shadow screamed. The forest welcomed me home. And somewhere far away, you are hearing her humming, which means she already knows your name.